Most people spend their lives chasing success like it's some distant prize that must be hunted down. They run harder, work longer, and stretch themselves thinner in the hope that one day they'll catch up to it. But success doesn't work that way. True success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who naturally draws it in. And that shift in understanding changes everything. When you look at people who seem to achieve incredible things effortlessly, it's not just luck or good timing. It's because of who they have become through their habits, mindset, and daily decisions. They don't need to chase opportunities. Opportunities come to them. Why? Because they've aligned their identity with the level of success they want. They show up in the world in a way that says, I am ready. And the world responds accordingly. It starts with the way you think. Success begins in the mind before it ever shows up in reality. Your thoughts create your beliefs, and your beliefs create your behaviors. If you think like a victim, you will live like one. If you think like a leader, you will begin to act like one. Every successful person first believed they were capable of more. They saw it in their mind before they saw it in the mirror. Once the thinking changes, the habits follow. You can't expect a different life without living differently. The person who attracts success doesn't wait for motivation. They build systems and routines that make progress automatic. They wake up early, not because it's trendy, but because they value time. They read, learn, and grow because they know success demands personal development. They move with intention, not with random bursts of effort. There's also a deep sense of responsibility in these individuals. They don't blame others or circumstances. They don't play small because of fear or past failures. They take full ownership of their outcomes. If something goes wrong, they ask, what can I learn instead of why me? This mindset turns every experience, good or bad, into a stepping stone. And because they're always learning, they're always evolving. Success finds them because they're always moving forward. Confidence plays a huge role as well. But this isn't the loud, showy kind of confidence. It's quiet and solid. It's the kind of confidence that comes from doing the hard things when no one is watching, from keeping promises to yourself, from being disciplined, not because someone told you to be, but because you expect more from yourself. That kind of self-respect is magnetic. People trust those who trust themselves. People who attract success also know the importance of emotional control. They understand that the way they respond to stress, failure, or criticism reveals their readiness for bigger responsibilities. They don't explode under pressure. They don't let emotions dictate their actions. Instead, they pause, breathe, and act with clarity. This emotional strength creates a solid foundation for long-term growth. Others begin to rely on them. Opportunities begin to align with them. They become the kind of people others want to work with, follow, and invest in. Another key factor is alignment. You can't say you want success and then act in ways that contradict that desire. The person who attracts success lives in alignment with their values and goals. They don't waste time on things that don't serve them. They don't hang out in environments that lower their standards. They make choices every day that support the future they want, not just the feelings of the moment. Over time, these choices build momentum. And once momentum kicks in, it becomes easier. Doors start to open. People start to notice. Resources start to show up, not because of magic, but because effort plus identity equals attraction. When your habits match your vision, the results follow. This is why transformation is more important than information. You don't need more tips, hacks, or shortcuts. What I'm out to. You need to become someone who naturally attracts better. And the beauty of it all is that it's not about being born with something special. It's about making decisions daily that pull you closer to the version of yourself who is already successful. Because the truth is, success doesn't come to who you are today. It comes to who you're becoming. Every action a person takes comes from one simple thing, their identity. Who you believe you are at your core shapes everything. How you show up, how you speak, what you choose, and what you avoid. The power of identity is often underestimated, but it quietly controls your entire life. If you want to change your results, you must begin by changing how you see yourself. Think about someone who believes deep down that they are a leader. They don't just lead when it's convenient, they lead in every situation. They walk into a room and carry themselves with purpose. They take responsibility. They solve problems. Why? Because it aligns with who they believe they are. That belief system gives birth to habits, and those habits create the results others see as success. Now imagine someone who sees themselves as a failure, even without saying it out loud. They may have big dreams, but their actions don't match those dreams. They procrastinate, they second guess, they avoid challenges, all because they don't believe they are capable. That belief shows up in their body language, their tone of voice, and the way they treat opportunities. Eventually, that identity shapes a reality that looks just like the story they told themselves. The secret to attracting success is not just about doing more, it's about becoming more. You have to change the story you tell yourself about who you are. And this change isn't about wishful thinking or pretending. It's about choosing to believe something new and backing that belief with action. If you want to see different results, then you need to start with different self-talk. Identity is built through repetition. You don't become confident by saying you are confident once. You become confident by doing things that scare you again and again. Every time you act in line with the version of yourself that you want to be, you reinforce that identity. Each repetition tells your brain, this is who I am now. And with enough repetition, it becomes real, not just in your mind, but in your habits, in your emotions, and in the outcomes you create. When you shift your identity, everything around you starts to shift. People respond to how you see yourself. If you walk into a room believing you are valuable, you speak with conviction, you make eye contact, you carry a presence that others respect. But if you walk in feeling small, unsure, or unworthy, that energy is just as clear. Others feel it too, even if nothing is said out loud. This is why inner work is more important than external effort. Without the right identity, effort can feel exhausting. You're constantly trying to act like someone you don't truly believe you are. But when your identity matches your goals, the effort feels natural. The path feels aligned. You start doing the things you used to avoid. You stop needing motivation because your actions are coming from your true self. Clarity around who you want to become is the first step. You need to be specific. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful. Ask yourself, what does a successful person believe? How do they act? What choices do they make daily? Then begin to mirror those behaviors, even in small ways. With consistency, your brain accepts the new identity. And once that happens, change no longer feels forced, it becomes automatic. There's also power in recognizing and letting go of the labels that no longer serve you. Maybe you were told growing up that you were lazy or that you were not smart enough. Those labels may have shaped your self-image without you even realizing it, but today you have the power to release them. You are not the person others decided you were. You are the person you decide to become, starting now. Remember, your identity is not fixed. It's fluid. It's shaped daily by your choices, your focus, and your actions. If you want to attract success, stop asking, what should I do? And start asking, who do I need to become? Because the person you become naturally knows what to do, naturally feels capable, and naturally draws the right results. When your identity aligns with the life you want, you don't have to chase it anymore. You live it. The environment you place yourself in shapes your future more than you may realize. Every person you interact with, every conversation you have, every piece of information you consume is feeding your mind and influencing your energy. If you are serious about becoming someone who attracts success, one of the most important things you can do is build a powerful environment that supports growth, action, and belief. It starts with the people around you. Look closely at who you spend the most time with. Are they pushing you to level up, or are they holding you back with doubt, drama, and distractions? The people in your life either challenge you to grow or give you permission to stay the same. Being around those who settle for less makes it harder to believe in more. But when you're surrounded by people who aim high, take action, and stay accountable, that mindset becomes contagious. You start to think bigger just by being near them. Energy is real, and it's transferred. A person with a negative outlook doesn't need to say anything to bring the room down. You can feel it. In the same way, someone who is driven and focused lifts everyone they come in contact with. That's why being intentional about who's in your circle is not just about protecting your time, it's about protecting your mind. One conversation with the right person can plant a seed that changes your direction. One conversation with the wrong person can make you question everything. It's not just people. Your physical space matters too. Is your environment clean, organized, and designed for productivity? Or is it filled with clutter, chaos, and reminders of unfinished goals? Your surroundings speak to your subconscious. A clean space tells your brain it's time to focus. A messy space invites distraction and hesitation. Creating an environment that encourages clear thinking can be as simple as removing distractions, adding a vision board, or placing your goals where you can see them daily. Technology also plays a big role in your environment. The content you consume is shaping your beliefs about what's possible. If you spend hours scrolling through negativity, drama, and meaningless entertainment, you are training your brain to expect more of the same. But if you fill your time with learning, motivation, and powerful stories of growth, your belief system shifts. You begin to expect more from life and from yourself. This is why routines and rituals matter. They create a structure within your environment that reinforces progress. A morning routine sets the tone for the day. A consistent workout schedule builds discipline. A set time for learning keeps your mind sharp. These habits don't just make you more productive, they build your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who shows up, who stays consistent, and who honors their word. That kind of self-imaging is the foundation for attracting higher levels of success. Another part of building a strong environment is setting boundaries. Not everyone gets access to your energy. You have to protect your time like it's your most valuable resource, because it is. Say no to things that don't align with your goals, even if it makes you uncomfortable. You don't owe your future to anyone who doesn't respect your growth. This doesn't mean being rude or distant. It means being clear about what you need and what you no longer allow. Your environment also includes the goals you surround yourself with. If your goals are always in your head and never written down, they remain ideas. But when you create a vision and place it in your daily environment, you start to bring it into reality. Write it on your wall. Put it in your journal. Speak it out loud every morning. Your brain starts to look for ways to make it happen, and your energy shifts to support it. Lastly, understand that your environment is always in motion. It's either pulling you forward or pulling you down. And the beautiful part is you have the power to shape it. You don't have to wait for the perfect conditions. You can create those conditions one small decision at a time. Rearranging your space, cutting back on negative influences, adding powerful voices to your daily input, and choosing action over excuses. All of these build the world around you. You become like what surrounds you. When you place yourself in an environment that promotes growth, discipline, and clarity, you rise. When your environment supports the version of you that you're working to become, success stops feeling like a struggle. It starts to feel like alignment. And in that space, the life you want becomes possible, then probable, then real. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who prepare. Preparation is not just a step. It's the foundation of everything great. It's the quiet work done in the background when no one is watching. It's the extra hours spent learning a new skill, the discipline to rehearse when others are relaxing, and the decision to keep going even when there's no applause. Those who attract success don't leave their future to chance. They build it, brick by brick, with intention, focus, and consistent preparation. When someone appears successful, most people only see the result. They don't see the countless hours that went into preparing for that moment. Whether it's in business, sports, public speaking, or any other field, the truth is always the same. Behind every public win is a long list of private sacrifices. The most successful people prepare for opportunities long before they arrive. That way, when the door opens, they're ready to walk through it with confidence. They don't panic. They don't hesitate. They've trained for it. Preparation builds confidence. When you're prepared, you carry yourself differently. You speak with clarity. You act with certainty. And you don't need to fake belief in yourself. You know you've earned it. That inner confidence comes from repetition and commitment. It comes from showing up again and again, even when progress feels slow. Each time you practice, each time you study, each time you plan, you build a stronger version of yourself. Many people say they want success, but aren't willing to prepare for it. They wait until the last minute. They rely on talent instead of training. They hope things will work out instead of making sure they do. But hope is not a strategy. Success belongs to those who put in the work long before the reward shows up. That work isn't always exciting, and it often doesn't come with immediate results. But that's the difference between wishful thinking and real commitment. Preparing for success also means planning for challenges. It's about expecting setbacks, not being surprised by them. A prepared person knows that problems are part of the journey and gets ready for them. They learn how to manage their time, their energy, and their emotions before the pressure hits. So when life gets hard, as it always does, they don't fall apart. They adjust, they adapt, and they keep moving. One of the most powerful ways to prepare is through visualization. So it's not about pretending or fantasy. It's a mental rehearsal for real performance. By seeing yourself succeeding, solving problems, and staying strong under pressure, you train your brain for real-life challenges. Athletes Entrepreneurs and high achievers all use this technique. They picture themselves performing well before it actually happens. This kind of mental preparation creates familiarity, and familiarity breeds confidence. Preparation also requires structure. You can't just hope to get better. You need a plan, set a schedule, define your goals clearly, break them into small steps, and commit to showing up daily. Consistency is the partner of preparation. Even small efforts done regularly create massive results over time. It's not about doing everything in one day. It's about doing the right things every day. Discipline is key. There'll be days when you don't feel like preparing, days when distractions are louder than your goals. But the decision to stay disciplined is where transformation begins. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being committed. Even if you don't feel like it, you show up. Even when you're tired, you do a little more. That mindset sets you apart. Surrounding yourself with others who are also preparing can help keep you focused. Being part of a group or team with shared goals makes it easier to stay accountable. It reminds you that you're not alone in the process. Everyone who's serious about success is preparing in some way. When you connect with those kinds of people, their focus becomes your fuel. The real value of preparation isn't just in the outcome, it's in who you become along the way. Every time you commit to learning, training, or planning, you build strength, character, and resilience. You become someone who's not just chasing success, but is becoming worthy of it. And that's the real goal, not just to achieve something, but to grow into someone who naturally attracts the results they once only dreamed about. Practicing success is not just about what you do, it's about who you are. The energy you carry, the thoughts you think, and the actions you repeat all come together to create your identity. And your identity sends out a signal to the world. That signal tells others and even yourself what you expect, what you believe, and what you're capable of. If your energy is uncertain, hesitant, or filled with doubt, you repel the very opportunities you're looking for. But if your energy is focused, confident, and ready, you begin to draw success toward you naturally. People often talk about energy as something abstract, but it's very real. You can feel it in a conversation, in a room, in someone's presence. It's in the way someone walks, speaks, listens, and shows up. When your energy is in alignment with your goals, you become a magnet. Not by force, not by pretending, but by being consistent with the future you're working to create. This is why mindset matters so much. Your thoughts shape your energy. If you constantly focus on fear, scarcity, or comparison, you give off insecurity. But when you focus on growth, gratitude, and possibility, you give off strength. Attracting success starts internally. Before the world recognizes you as successful, you must see it in yourself. Now, this doesn't mean faking confidence or acting like you know everything. It means choosing to believe that you are becoming the kind of person who can handle success. That belief changes your posture. It changes how you show up in a room. It changes how you speak about your goals. When you truly believe something is possible, your energy changes and people notice. One powerful way to shift your energy is through daily habits. What you do consistently becomes who you are. Every small action is a vote for the kind of identity you're building. If you want to attract success, build habits that reflect success. Wake up with intention. Set clear goals. Speak positively. Move your body. Stay curious. Take responsibility. These may sound simple, but when done daily, they raise your energy. They align your actions with your vision, and over time, they shift how others see you and how you see yourself. Another key factor in energy is language. The words you use shape your experience. If you constantly say things like, I can't, it's hard, or I'm not ready, you drain your own power. But when you use language like, I'm learning, I'm committed, or I'm getting better, you strengthen your energy. Words are tools. Use them to build yourself up, not tear yourself down. Speak to yourself as if you are already becoming who you want to be, and your energy will rise to match that belief. Focus is also part of energy. Scattered energy leads to scattered results. But when your energy is focused on one mission, one purpose, and one path, it becomes powerful. You don't need to chase 100 things. You need to pour your best energy into the few things that matter. This creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunities. Success is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently with energy that says, I'm ready. Another way to elevate your energy is through your emotions. Emotions are powerful, and they can either lift you or hold you back. Learn to manage your emotional state. Don't let circumstances decide how you feel. Take control of your energy by choosing how you respond. Breathe deeply, stay calm, keep perspective. When your emotional state is steady, your energy becomes dependable. And dependable energy attracts trust, leadership, and success. You also attract what you expect. If you expect rejection, failure, or disappointment, your energy prepares for it. But if you expect progress, breakthroughs, and growth, your energy works toward that. This isn't about blind optimism. It's about choosing to expect something better and preparing for it. Your expectations influence your body language, your tone, and your decisions. Raise your expectations and your energy rises with it. Gratitude is another secret to powerful energy. It grounds you in what's good, even when things are hard. When you live in a state of gratitude, your energy becomes lighter, more open, and more attractive. People are drawn to those who are thankful, not bitter. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already working, and that focus gives you more to build on. At the core of all this is self-awareness. Pay attention to your energy. Notice how you feel when you're on track, and notice what drains you and what fuels you. Protect your energy like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. You are either raising the room or lowering it with every interaction. When your energy is clear, strong, and aligned with your goals, success finds its way to you. You don't chase it. You live in a way that invites it. Success doesn't just belong to a lucky few. It's not limited to people born into wealth, status, or talent. It's something anyone can earn when they choose to become the person success is looking for. That's the key. It's not about chasing results. It's about transforming who you are. When you grow into someone who is disciplined, focused, driven, and consistent, success has no choice but to respond. The outside world begins to reflect the inner changes you've made. That's where real lasting success comes from within. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you want to attract strength, become strong. If you want to attract opportunity, become prepared. If you want to attract leadership, carry yourself like one. The world responds to who you are being, not just what you say you want. And that's empowering because it means you don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You can start becoming that person right now, right where you are. The small daily decisions you make shape your future more than any big moment. How you wake up, how you speak to yourself, how you handle stress, how you treat others. These are the real building blocks of success. They may seem small in the moment, but over time, they create massive results. The right habits done consistently will outwork talent, luck, or even intelligence. That's because success is not a finish line, it's a way of life. You'll have setbacks, you'll face doubt, fear, and even failure. But those things don't disqualify you. They shape you. They test your commitment, your hunger, your vision. And if you stay the course, if you keep showing up, keep preparing, keep adjusting, you become unstoppable. You become someone who doesn't just achieve success, but sustains it. Because it's now part of who you are. There's no final destination where you've made it forever. Success is something you have to keep earning through the choices you make every day. But when you build it the right way, from the inside out, it sticks. It becomes natural. Not easy, but natural. Because it's no longer something outside of you, it's who you've become. So the real challenge is not to get something, it's to become someone. Someone who attracts opportunity through energy, preparation, and belief. Someone who leads by example, takes responsibility, and inspires others without even trying. That person, that version of you is already possible. It's just waiting for you to decide, to commit, to step into it fully. Don't wait for a perfect plan. Don't wait for the right time. Start now. Show up now. Because the moment you shift your identity, the world starts to shift around you. And that's when everything changes. That's when success starts to find you because you finally become the one it's been looking for.